I love that opening. All right, everybody, welcome to the podcast. Welcome, bienvenue to Stadia Party Chat Podcast, a cloud gaming talk show where we, as two Canadian hosts, chat everything Google Stadia in the past week, and as always, the latest on Bungie's Destiny 2. Let's hit you with today's episode, number 37, and we are chatting about Destiny's huge TWAB update. And it
Yeah,
is long, everybody. It is a big one. We got some May Pro games. We got half an announcement. So, mid sentence, the PR rep was like, okay, stop talking about games. We'll show the rest of that later. So, we got three of them. And then we just got some news over the past week. So, yeah, a lot of stuff going on for sure. But let's start as we always do and ask my super co-host, as always, Sebastian, joined at the podcast. You know, I forgot to write that. That was in the opening, but I got to rewrite that in.
what's that?
Um,
We
my
have to differ.
introduction of the co-host to the show.
Oh, good.
uh, yeah. So as always, let's start off with what we've been playing. Everything but Destiny 2, as we always love to play. But what have
Yeah,
you been up to?
well, a lot of Destiny too. Well, I was away for a while, and and you were away for a while, so that's why we haven't done our podcast in the past few weeks. But I had time to play a lot of Destiny 2 and some Dark Side of Genesis. We play a little bit together, and I kept going by myself. Further in the story, get more. It's very interesting. It got me into it, so I'm probably gonna keep playing that. A lot of World War Z also. We played together a few times. Um, it came out without crossplay, but that's all right. Like I think it's almost easier if we just go together and play together because of the certain people just want to rush it, and I think we're more collector guys, so we want
Yeah.
to take our time, make sure we get everything. But yeah, that's pretty much this. Like World War Z is pretty fun actually. It's just all about upgrading your weapon. As you use them more, you upgrade to the next one. You get better weapon and so on and so forth. So quite a lot of fun. What about yourself?
Well, I did enjoy a lot of World War Z aftermath. Although I was a little disappointed with no crossplay. Although I don't know if you've noticed this, but last time I logged on, there was a crossplay. It showed like a crossplay code
Oh yeah, I
to.
remember that.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's enabling it. I don't know. I may need to test that out and see
That's
what's
just it.
going on there.
It's hard to tell how that system work exactly. So
Yeah. Because there's nowhere where we can put in a code to join someone. So yeah,
no.
I don't know. Um yeah, I've been playing a lot of that leveling up. I like the horde mode, sort of set up your defenses, try to survive as long as possible. The AI seemed to get me into trouble a lot. I need to figure out a way to remove them because I know you said you could sort of run solo. I think I'd like to
Yeah.
try to do that. Yeah, so when then we've been running through the story slowly. I know we haven't got back onto it. It's been crazy busy these past couple weeks.
Yeah.
But other than that, when I can find some time, I've been busting straight heads in Mortal Kombat. I don't know if you guys have been able to play this. It was on a massive cutback. I think
Mhm.
last week when Stadia was doing some spring cleaning. Just like the fatalities out of this world. There was one where I just like hit the back of this girl's skull. Her brain came out of her head and her face was like detaching from. Oh my god, it's just so brutal, the finishers. And
I,
it's all like 4K, like amazing graphics. The story mode is like I'm watching a big budget movie. Like it's just like Mortal Kombat the movie that I'm a part of watching. It's a lot of great stuff.
That's funny. That's
Um
awesome. Yeah, Mortal Kombat has been always a great game to play, and yeah, the amount of blood you see in this game is crazy, right? And the
yeah.
finisher, like you said, they try to make them the most graphic like type of thing.
Yeah, they definitely went above and beyond with these fatalities.
Hmm.
And then we have a game that I decided to boot up and play with Hannah a little bit was Chicken Police. Painting it red. So
Mm.
this is a narrative sort of point and click game is the best way I can describe it, where you're a chicken.
Hmm.
Um, and as a chicken, you go in and you're solving crimes as chickens do. It's interesting. It's fully voice acted, so it's kind of like watching a movie, watching some show. So I did enjoy that part. The comedy is a little bit odd. It seems whenever somebody makes a remark about the other type of animal they are, they call them a racist. So there's a lot of like, "You're a racist." No, you're a racist for calling me a chicken. But yeah,
That's funny.
um, I believe I wouldn't even know if we're like halfway through it or not, but we're in I think the third location. So we're playing a little bit every day, and we'll get through it. I'm sure.
I think it's a game I should look into. I haven't like look at all the games. I know there's like more coming out in a week or so. So yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Oh, and
Um,
there was a fun fact here I
mm,
wanted to share with you before we jump into the TWAB because I
yeah.
know there's a lot of TWAB. Um, so I believe it's Jack Giuseppe. Sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. He's always throwing up Stadia stats.
Hmm.
And he threw up a Stadia stat. He made a Stadia stat on us, remember? About our following and how it grew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's another stat here. For every 1,000 Destiny 2 players, 20 of them are Stadia.
Oh, really?
Meaning that 2% of the entire Destiny 2 population is Stadia.
Oh, there we go.
Which
That's
is
awesome.
tiny.
Yeah.
Tiny. So
Well,
tiny.
and since the crossplay too, I noticed a lot of people switch to a console or a PC.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think like a lot of people having some difficulty with Stadia. Don't get me wrong, like it's running perfectly for me. It's just like sometimes I get that 1 frame a second, which was solved during like Beyond Light DLC. But since the new DLC of the Witch Queen, I've been having a lot of 1 frame per second. Um, I think it just need like an update on the Bungie side because I feel like it's only this game it does that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
but consoles get bugs too all the time. I mean,
Oh
console
yeah.
players have trouble in the tower, console players DQ. Like,
Or like
I just don't get it.
people with Xbox One are like slow like
Yeah,
to kind of like travel anywhere. If you like you load the game, I feel like it takes forever, and then they shoot around corner because there's a delay in ping or something. But yeah.
right. Yeah, but I think that's been my list of games. I played a little bit of Valhalla. It's kind of like
Hmm.
running around gathering things. Oh, I did play. I've been started up a brand new game of Grime. I wanted to get in to
Yeah.
this a little bit. The link kind of threw me off here. So Grime has gone through a lot of updates. I want to say I beat that game in like the first week of release.
Hmm.
And if anyone here is like that and has played that, um now the game has been like revamped completely. I would say the armor now has special abilities, like adds an intrinsic value. The combat and the graphics seem a lot more smoother. There seems to be different cutscenes as well. And even the level design in the beginning, I know I didn't have any weapons in the beginning, but now you kind of get weapons right off of the bat. And
Mm.
so it's a lot has changed, and as I make my way through it, I'm sure I'll notice more changes. But again, really solid, smooth gameplay, and just like an all-around fantastic title.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And why I have this link here. Let me put it up here.
Yeah. That's
They
a
have
t-shirt, right?
yeah, for like the next 3 hours, it's like $15. So pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. And then what have anything else you want to talk about before we get into
Well, I don't know if I mentioned it the last last podcast, but I've tried the was it Legend City or something like that, that came out on Stadia. It was pretty good, I think. The game was quite interesting. Um, like it was like a click. It's quite simple. Like if you're able to see like the object and you have to identify, oh, this object can do this and can do that. So it's quite interesting how it works. So yeah. But I wasn't sure if I mentioned it last time, but I did a stream about it, and yeah, have a look.
Yeah,
That's pretty
wicked.
much it, and we can jump into the long twab. I made sure to like
Wow.
reduce it. I made sure to reduce it way more that it is because it was a long one. So I just went through a few things, and yeah, I just like break it down very quickly.
Okay, let me get the screen up.
Yep.
Right, this way.
There we go.
Ooh, it's a
All right.
doozy this week.
Yeah, it's pretty massive. I know like there's a lot of people that went through in detail. Like Rick Kakis had like a nice video about it going in full detail of the TWAB, 45 minutes long video. So if you want to have a look, go for it. The main thing is that I'll move right away to it. So they mention it's a long TWAB. So if you want to scroll down, there's going to be a lot of change, architecture change to weapon and like other stuff within the game. The sandbox is going to change for the next season. So basically, what the Bungie saw is that we have a meta for this season, and they decide to um, change the meta to make it different because everybody's using the same thing or something like that. So yeah, starting off, if you want to scroll down, down to the glaive. So the glaive, we know they came out this season. We gonna see some change to make them better. So basically, the melee glaive has been triggering a lot of like charge melee, which it shouldn't be the intention. Should be just kinetic melee. So they're gonna be changing that so it affect any melee base. It's gonna trigger them off basically. So glaive melee should activate perk that trigger off base melee damage or kill. So similar to a grave robber and swashbuckler. The glaive melee should not activate perk that trigger off powered melee. So that was a big thing, right? Next one we have so the next one is like the glaive melee should benefit from melee damage buff. Glaive melee shouldn't not benefit from weapon damage buff. So like the first one was like looking at the armor set. The second one will be like kill clip rampage or anything like that. So if you have rampage on your glaive, it's not gonna work for the melee. So like for me, I think I switched it to that. But am I gonna switch it back to? I had another one there before, but and glaive projectile should benefit from weapon damage buff, which is like rampage, kill clip, swashbuckler also. So yeah, a lot of change for the better for PvP and PvE in overall for the glaive. So it's gonna be good because I noticed in PvP a lot of issue happen where like you get killed a lot easily or like the person's tracking you from so far and killing you. Yeah, so they're gonna change that. Moving on from there, they're talking about the flinch. So flinch is going to become um, a new thing that you can modify within your weapon. They notice some weapon are like higher flinch and other lower. So basically flinch is going to be a stat that's going to be affected by the stability of the weapon and also the resilience. So if you want less flinch, the higher resilience, the better flinch you're going to get. Same with the stability of the weapon. They mentioned there's like some weapon in there that's like only low flinch, but that's okay. Yeah, in this area. So you can see some of the weapon they're gonna change. They're gonna have a base stat for the flinching. And then there's an example about if you have 100 stability on the Suros plus pulse rifle, and other your stat, like let's say you have your armor mod or anything like that, plus your resilience, and like it will give you a result. So that's for the flinching. So I'm quite interested about that because it's just showing us that resilience can become a more thing now. Most people don't play too much with resilience, but yeah, there we go. Airborne gameplay. So that's the next thing. So that's going to be a hidden stat similar to aim assist. It's called airborne effectiveness. So you're going to be able to see it on your API if you're using dim, little light, or anything like that. It should show there. So the airborne effectiveness can be sourced from the weapon. So like based on the weapon, how airborne effective it is. Plus the subclass, like similar to Eat Rise ability and exotic armor. Certain exotic armor is gonna give you better airborne gameplay. So might gonna be seeing less people shooting like shotgun from the air or something because they're aim assist is not going to be as good, right? The cone for the aim assist is going to be like bigger. So the thing that what they are doing is that they forcing us to play with more primary weapon in PvP and reducing the amount of like uh, uh, more you know, the green brick basically. So less people is going to be using that. So shotgun, fusion rifle, and stuff like that. And moving on into that, they're gonna tune the one hit kill and special ammo. So they try to change it so people don't get one hit kill anymore. So there's like the shotgun kill, right? So if you want to scroll down, I think it's further down for that. I'm skipping a lot of like detail, but like yeah, you can see the amount of detail. So basically, they notice that a lot of people still using shotgun, fusion rifle. They gonna avoid having them being one hit kill, and then basically, one thing they're gonna do is that the ammo scavenger mod is not gonna be functional anymore in PvP. So they're gonna remove that for next season. And they're gonna reduce the damage bonus of Empowering Rift, High Energy Fire, and Inertia Override. I'm not sure what it's It's like one of the uh, mod or armor set, I'm guessing. Anyway. Moving on, the rest of the TWAB, there's a lot about weapon archetype modification. So moving on into that, we just saw the playlist weapon has changed to drop with extra trait. So all the weapons from Beyond Light will have origin trait now, and the playlist weapons similar to the shotgun for Vanguard Strike, auto rifle from Gambit, they're gonna come out with extra trait because they're gonna be special, I guess. Stat display update on weapons and more display change. It's more like sorry, it's more a display change of how it looked like. So I think they're gonna make it better. So you might see some difference there. So in terms of weapon, so snipers are getting a buff on aim down sight and readiness. So it's gonna be faster to ready it. So like this, you're not always relying on having snap relying on having the perk if having a must. So that's going to be making uh, having like other perk in there. There's a big mention about shotgun nerf. Like I mentioned, they found it's too much use within the PvP side. Um, there's some change coming for the fusion rifle, and those change it's gonna matter with the charge time for certain frame. So certain frames gonna have like better charge time. So that's a good thing. They try to force us to use more the IM pack or like then the precision frame or something like that. And even the rapid frame is gonna get like a little damage boost versus to where it's at. Um, Buff on trace rifle, yes. There's gonna be something coming out with the trace rifle. So it's probably gonna be the next meta next season. So a lot of your old trace exotic trace rifles gonna get buff. So good thing they're gonna make it more like better to use, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. Change on a lot of primaries. So if you look down, scroll down, there's mention about auto rifle, pulse rifle. There's a lot of modification they're doing. Modification in zoom for submachine gun, which is great. So certain machine gun like the Schurz Rot is very popular. They're gonna make it less popular, I guess, and they're gonna nerf IQ loss SMG. So if you have a good roll, I'll suggest use that. Yep. Moving on from there, there's machine gun. They will be getting buff so they can get better at PvE. So like Xenophage, Thunderlords can be interested to use. So they make it so it's they do 40% more damage against PvE and 20% versus boss, which is good. I think the idea is to like make them more effective so not everybody's always using um, rocket or anything like that. So hopefully they can become a meta. Um, there's more about the sword being some of the changes for the sword. Rocket launcher, there's gonna be some modification in there, depending on the frame. So we start moving to different type of frame. And now we're moving into exotics weapon. So exotics. There's a list of weapon in there. I'm just gonna go through the one eye getting buff. So Eyes of Tomorrow is getting a buff. Yes, I say it again. Eyes of Tomorrow is getting a buff. So we're gonna see it again as a meta for Gambit or any gameplay like that. But it's mainly for being used in PvE. Leviathan's Breath is getting a buff, which I'm happy with that. I really like that bow. But it's there's better option out there. Xenophage is getting a buff. Skyburner's ult's getting a buff. Very interesting one. Last Word is getting a buff, but it's only for mouse and keyboard. Graviton Lance is getting a buff. Grand Overture is getting one because it's not that great of a machine gun. Uh, so talking about the trace rifle, we have Coldheart, Prometheus Lance, Wave Splitter getting a buff. So I think they're gonna be meta the next season. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it looked like it's gonna be interesting to play with. And Osteo Striga is getting some sort of buff, where like the what is it? The correction rotation for the projectile. So I guess it's gonna curve more or something. I don't know. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Uh, Weapon that getting nerfed, Le Monarch, because we see it a lot in PvP. You can get one shot or two shot. I think the big thing about the Monarch, they're gonna change it from being a burn damage to a poison damage, because technically it's poison, right? But I think within the API, it's like doing burn damage. Lawrence Drive is getting a nerf. Arbalest is getting a nerf. I think this is because everybody use it now for PvE end game content because it's great. It can like destroy champion. They're reducing the damage by 20% or 25%. Lord of Wolves is getting a nerf. I think I've seen that weapon used a lot in PvP, so it's good they're changing that. So moving on from the exotic weapon, we have the perks change. There's a few perk in there, like snapshot sight. That's the one I was saying for sniper. It's almost like a must. Now they're doing some change to make it a little bit the animation from zero point 0.5 to 0.75 for special ammo weapon and primary is staying unchanged. So basically they're gonna make it a little bit better for to be used with the sniper, because the sniper is not gonna lose anything, because at the end of the day the sniper is gonna be snappier, and then you're gonna add the snapshot sight. It's gonna make it even better. um Opening shot, there's gonna be some change with that. So I think it's mainly because people one shot kill a lot of people. Full choke, I think the main reason was that it found it's to spread apart, so they're reducing that. The Desperado is going to be getting some change. Air Assault, getting it's coming back. I think it's like an old perk on older weapon. So if you still have those, well, you're gonna see some change. I'm guessing it's gonna come back in the next season in the pool. Mulligan is gonna get changed because it's not really needed for primary, but the increasing the missing ammo from 20 to 35%, unchanged for the rest. So it's gonna be a little bit better for primary. Adagio, I think they want to make Adagio way better, but they changing it for shotguns, so it's not OP, which is good. I skipped through a few of them in there, but like, yeah, it's just so we don't spend 45 minutes on all the subject. Moving on, the pool for next season, pool of weapon that's coming and leaving for Iron Banner. What's leaving? We got the Occludon Funnels, the sniper rifle, and the end cannon. The Nightfall, it's gonna be the shotgun and the end cannon. And Trials of Osiris, we're losing the SMG and the pulse rifle. And then for season 18, from Iron Banner, we get the sidearm machine gun. Nightfall, we get the fusion rifle, rocket launcher, and Trials of Osiris, we get the sniper and auto rifle. So if you're looking to get those weapons, you still have until the end of the season. And for the other one, we're gonna lose in season 18. You're gonna have another full season. Moving on, Gambit. So we got the Gambit Lab. Oh, sorry, I missed that part. So some ability tuning. So they tuning certain ability very quickly there. Action bolt base cooldown, it's increase because it's too OP, I guess. The Titan barricade cooldown, they made it a similar level as the Rift, from my understanding. Um, Offensive bulk war now provides 60% less bonus grenade energy. So a few things there: Whisper the Chain and Renewal's Grass. So Renewal's Grass is very good with the Dustfield grenade. But now they're gonna reduce the cooldown of the grenade from 62 seconds to 152 seconds, which is crazy, but that's okay. The outgoing damage penalties from 50% to 20%. So I've been using it a lot in PvP, and now, yeah, well, that's alright. I think too many people are using it, but that's alright. But and PVE doesn't change. So then moving to Gambit's lab, it's gonna come up April 26th. So on Tuesday on reset, there's gonna be a hotfix, and they're gonna bring that too. So that interesting part for Gambit, I can't wait to try this one. So if you invade, the trick is to stand by the where you deposit the moat, and then you're gonna drain from there. So sending like Taken on the other side is not gonna do anything, but when you invade, you can take like the moats from the enemy and send it to your bank. So that should be an interesting way. I can see a lot of people using bubble there. You have your bubble Titan, you just go in there, place bubble, and yeah. But yeah, so that should be interesting to play. I can't wait to try that. Moving on, what we have left, Prime Gaming. So if you have Amazon Prime, just go online and get your loot. So we got an interesting ghost. Well, not that interesting. The ship is quite interesting. Make me think of a ship in Star Wars. And then like you have the Sparrow. And if you don't have the emote, then you can have it. And that's pretty much it for the TWAB. The rest, we have a few video, a few more talk about what's happening. We have the odd fix coming up. So yeah, the Destiny 2 is going to be down for hopefully not too long. It's say about 2 hours, but 2-3 hours. I guess we'll see. Sorry. I guess we'll see then. And that's pretty much it.
Cool.
Yeah. That was
I
a
thought
long TWAB.
one interesting takeaway: the wave
Mhm.
splitter is now going to be able to suppress enemies. That's cool.
Yeah. So a lot of change for the trace rifle, which I really like. I think it's gonna bring them back to be a little bit better. Um, yeah. There's like they're gonna nerf it, and I think it's gonna become meta, but we'll see. A lot of nice
We
change.
will see.
Hmm.
Well, thanks for going through the TWAB. I know
That was a
that was
long
a
one.
lot to go through.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
just
it.
like pick whatever it was to make it shorter, but yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into some Stadia news.
Hmm.
All right, everybody. Wow. As always, we like to hit up Stadia Source for our Stadia news. So let's go through the news that we've missed. First of all, I want to say at the top of this, Deliver Us to the Moon, announced for an April Pro game, still has not reached us, and we have no update as of yet on when we will get the Stadia release.
Hmm.
So stay tuned. We hope to have an update soon. Unfortunately, nothing as of yet, 24 days after they told us we would be getting it. So a little unfortunate there. World War Z launches with no crossplay, and I'm still salty about it. So, yeah, there's that to live with. There is this crossplay code that seems to be appearing. Not sure what that's about. However, I have heard no reports on there being a now crossplay available to people. So I'm skeptical. But the developers did say that they were working on crossplay. But it was more of a when/if we get crossplay to go up there. So I guess we'll be waiting and seeing.
Hmm.
But a game we did get was golf with your friends. So what everyone loves to do, golfing with friends. Team 17 has dropped it on Stadia, and a lot of people are having fun. It looks like a wacky kind of mini putt game. um, I've not jumped into it myself. I'm almost positive this will become a pro game in the near future. How could it not, with me having almost every game on Stadia now because of the pro setup?
Yep.
Um, what are your thoughts on golf with your friends?
It looks interesting. I think it's yeah, it's probably gonna come out on Pro. Just give it like another 2 months, and then it's gonna be there.
Yeah. Cool. So, little fun little game there. I wish there was like a touch on your cell phone. On
Hmm.
like came with touch play, but guess we didn't get that lucky. And the thing with golf games is I really just wish they had like a motion controller or something like that where I could actually swing the club.
Yeah.
Makes it all a little bit different. New content is now available for Darkside Detective: A Fumble in the Dark. So a bonus case into the Cuck. And yes, that is what it's called. Um, a little expansion, a little story. I did do one case on this. It was also like a point and click type of game as well. The writing was really wacky. The characters were really out there in terms of like extraterrestrial type of X Files investigations. Um, However, it's not a game that like grabs my attention forever and ever. Um, I did find a lot of great things about this game, and to see the expansion is pretty cool. But you know what I did hear? I don't know if you have any insight into this, that there was going to be the direct touch, which was going to be enabled for these games.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because
But
they released it for a certain game, right?
I thought it was already released, and I went to try to play these games on my phone, and it was still like the
Yeah.
overlay.
Hmm.
It didn't give me the option, so a little confused there. But I hope that they come out with that Acapora or Apacora. I'm not sure how they say it. That studio is super awesome. Like
Yeah.
they made Grime, so they're top in my book. Yeah, they are actually working on a DLC for Grime, so I really hope that that comes to the forefront really soon. I follow their Twitter, so
Hmm.
they're always releasing. I think they showed footage of like a new boss and stuff. It looked awesome.
Nice.
Um, a brand new title update arrives for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So you can check out the new content. There's a festival, and I know because I went into the Valhalla, and it's like everyone wants to have this festival, and I'm like, no, I'm just trying to pick up where I left off. And I have no idea how to pick up where I left off. Like I thought I was picking up where I left off, and then all of a sudden I'm launched into a DLC, and now I'm in
Oh my
Ireland.
God.
And I'm like,
Oh.
this is not where I wanted to be at all. I just wanted to continue where I was left, anyways. That's my thing. I
That's
ended up
funny.
leaving Ireland and I ate some magic mushrooms and I wandered around for a bit. I still don't know if I'm on the right story, but I mean, there's some entertaining bits. Most of the time, I just feel like an errand boy. Um, but the fighting can be interesting and cool.
Yeah.
I just got the ability to get like a wolf, and like
Oh.
so now I can like just like have a wolf come out of nowhere and attack an enemy. That's pretty
Hmm.
cool.
That's good. So like you have it attacking for you, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that plays on my heartstrings with espresso for sure.
I
It looks like they added a lot. Oh my gosh. Like
know that's crazy.
world miscellaneous, like the HUD. And that's why I decided to play Valhalla instead of going into the older ones because I knew that, they're constantly working on this. It's going to be the most updated. And it shows like when you're in combat, you're like doing these crazy final like scenes when you finish off players, like you're throwing axes, like
Hmm.
everything is running really smooth and it's like a really like pretty game for sure.
That's good.
I thought, I'll just increase the difficulty. This was my thinking going into it, okay? I'm like, I'm gonna crank up the difficulty, and then in my head, I'll be playing Elden Ring.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
But I
funny.
was just an errand boy. I decided to stop. Okay, I still want
That's a
Elden.
funny thing.
Yeah, Elden Ring. I hope. I don't know if it gained much traction on that petition. I think it was at like
No,
1,500 signatures when I last saw it.
I just look and it's at 2,186, very close to the 2,500 goal. So that's
Ah,
good.
I just don't even understand. Like, it would just make so much sense to put it in the cloud. Nobody wants to deal with downloads and updates.
Hmm.
That's my biggest thing. I was listening to Sunny talk
Yeah.
about cloud gaming, and his thing was, and which I never really understood, but he's just like, I love cloud gaming because I can game in bed while I'm laying down. I'm like, that's the overwhelming reason you like to cloud game. I don't know. For me, it's no downloads, no updates, instant play,
Hmm.
and I can have a massive library without worrying about any storage library or storage
Exactly. I
space.
think his thing was basically you can play anywhere, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a great thing to do. And like it's funny, I mentioned that to you. I've started having a lot of people saying like they think Stadia is closing something. I was like, where you hear that online on the internet? Well, there's a lot of like fake news out there. I think like a lot of people don't like Stadia. Why? I don't know. I saw some other post saying like, "Yo, GeForce Now and Stadia should merge because like GeForce Now has the library and stuff like that." Well, like I think the issue there was that Google Stadia signed with AMD for their blades, right? So I don't think they're gonna go with Nvidia for that. Even there, um, Nvidia is running slightly different than Stadia, so I don't think it's gonna happen. But like the idea is there. Like if like you merge like certain company together, they could do way better. So we'll see what happens.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And and there's definitely people who have done it before. But I honestly believe that Google is just going to stay in the space and just be a player that exists in the cloud
Hmm.
space. I mean, right now they're outperforming other players, but it's only a matter of time before Xbox comes out. I think
Hmm.
what we will see and what may happen is PlayStation and GeForce now have a relationship,
Oh,
because
that's quite possible.
PlayStation now is, from what I hear, nowhere. PlayStation now is PlayStation then. All right, it's not now.
Yeah, it's not that great from my understanding. And I have one of my friend think he thought that like cloud gaming was very bad because he tried the X Cloud. Well, X Cloud is terrible right now, and he say he was lagging and stuff like that. And his internet is like as great as mine. I think he get like 1 gigabyte of speed upload and download. And then like I was like, no, you haven't tried Stadia, that's why. And I have a feeling that Sony and Microsoft they're doing bad at the cloud, so they can sell more console. And they try to show people cloud gaming is terrible, So like the market's not being taken over from them, because they like every industry, big industry, when they make a console, they always lose money. They don't make money from the console; they make money from the game. So I wonder if like saying like, oh yeah, use the cloud, it's way better. Well, they're gonna have all those console they gotta get rid of. I
Yeah,
don't know.
there's so many conflicting interests. Like
Mm,
but now all of a sudden they're not making discs anymore. So what about all those relationships?
mm,
And like they're not like and cloud gaming is the greener way to game. I mean, I think Sonny was saying the amount of waste that is
oh yeah.
created by all when FIFA 2020 came out and all the people who threw out FIFA 2019, the physical copy. He's saying like 22,000 tons of landfill waste made
Oh
from
my
this. And
God.
it's like people who went from 2021 in the cloud to 2022 in the cloud didn't go
Mhm.
through any of that waste. And on
Yeah.
top of that, a lot of these like big server buildings, they buy into green credits, so they're like actually almost operating at a net zero when it comes to cloud gaming. So if you're really looking to be green in game, I mean, it's about the cloud.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
definitely.
a lot of
That's
cool
quite
stuff there.
interesting. If you look here, I've been a gamer since I was a kid, and I've been piling up all the game disc, right?
Yeah. I
So
mean, a bunch
sorry,
of that.
that was a side note there.
Yeah, we're sidetracking. We're
Uh,
sidetracking. But that's what you get with Stadia Party Chat podcast. Um, a new map has arrived for Rainbow Six Siege. Actually, it was fun. I just stopped off at and saw my brother, and he was playing some Rainbow Six Siege. So yeah, game's still alive and well. I mean, so many people play this game.
Mhm.
They have the new map, and if you didn't know already, they have a new game mode, which is Team Deathmatch. And he was sort of describing
Oh.
it as sort of his like warm up, easier game mode
Mhm.
before he jumps into competition. So if you ever had like hesitancies because you're like, oh, Siege is so heavy competition, jump in, play some Team Deathmatch. Apparently, it's a lot more chill.
Awesome.
Cool. Cool, cool. And then I was like, oh, I only know these operators from Extraction. And he's like, oh, Extraction was good for about 3 days, he heard. And then it dropped off.
Yeah, I haven't touched extraction since then. I don't know if they did any more change on it.
I always wanted to try to get up to like at least level 10 and try the other game modes. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard because everything just seems like very much the same after you do it once.
Exactly.
And speaking of very much the same after you do it once, we have Jane Foster's The Mighty Thor joins Marvel's Avengers. Fans of Marvel's Avengers will recognize or be curious to know, like, why would you add a Thunder God with a hammer when you obviously already have a Thunder God with a hammer? Like so many other lists. And you know what's even crazier is when this game first came out, they released a list of, I want to say, 12 heroes they were going to bring to this game. And it was going to be this one after this one. It was going to be like every single month they were going to be doing this. Then it became okay, maybe it'll be every season they'll be doing this. And then it's like 2 a year, and it's just none of these characters. Like, I never remember Jane Foster being on the list.
I think it's
Um,
just to promote the next Thor movie, Love and Thunder. But
yeah.
like even there, it's like that's a cheap way for them. Like they didn't release one for like when the Falcon and Winter Soldier came out with their show, or like
Moon
the
Knight.
Moon Knight, or
That
what
would
I
have
mean.
been a mind blowing character to bring into this game.
Well,
That
been
would have brought
different.
me to the game.
Uh,
If I would have turned back on the game and played as Moon Knight, if that would have been it.
Because was the last one they had was the Black Panther, right?
The
That was
Black
the last.
Panther expansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played it. It got me back into it when I played the Black Panther expansion. I
But then
did
that
not.
was it, right?
Yeah, I did not be able to beat it because I needed like a fire team of like competent people and not the AI. And the problem is there's no crossplay when it comes to Stadia. I guess they
Mm.
never decided. Square Enix was like, nah, for a year.
I, yeah, I think that game it's almost like time to give up.
It is. I have to convince like maybe Stark. Sometimes I see him playing. Maybe he'll help me.
Oh, he's on there. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little unfortunate.
Hmm.
But yeah, so they're adding this Thunder God girl, and she's obviously just a skin of Thor, and that's what people have been saying.
That's just it.
Square Enix. How I and know what I don't understand? Guardian of the Galaxy, apparently award-winning, like amazing game. People say like this is the
Yeah,
best, and apparent. Then how is Marvel Avengers not? I just do not understand
it's
that.
just a different studio within Square Enix, right?
It's just crazy.
It's probably the money also. Like maybe the budget was better for Guardian of the Galaxy than
How?
Marvel Avenger. I
Marvel
don't know.
Avengers is. I mean, they're both Marvel. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's jump into Dead Drop Studios. Have you heard of these guys and
I
their
heard
game
about the
Outbreak?
game. Yeah, yeah. I heard. Was it like the last time we mentioned about that, or a while back?
Or maybe we were just talking about it.
Mm, yeah, that's
Um,
possible.
yeah. So it looks like they're creating a buzz about bringing their game to Stadia, which is very exciting. They've released a couple posts like outlining, hey, buzz up some things. Let's get talking. Stadia's interested. We're hearing their pitch.
Mm-hmm.
So read more about their interview here. Obviously, Mr. Lee Reed went out and spoke to them, and I believe in the start of here we go. Evan Wolbach, founder and sole developer at Dead Drop Studios,
Nice.
um, and pretty cool. And they sort of give a good description here. Outbreak 2D was designed as a spiritual successor to Resident Evil.
Hmm.
So really wicked.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm
I
probably
think
gonna
it would
see
be
that
a
soon.
I think it'd be a different game for Stadia, and I'm always up for like different sort of views and different gameplay, and as much support as we can get behind them. I think would be awesome because
Mhm.
more games on Stadia, more support. Let's do it.
Exactly.
And I know you like the Resident Evil games.
Mm-hmm. They're very good, so that's gonna be interesting to see that coming to
Me, I'm a
Stadia.
little bit scared of them. Yeah. So yeah, read a lot about it. They talk about working with Stadia. So I always find that interesting because I wonder, how Stadia treats developers. I think that's important to see.
And because they're a small developer, like Stadia's gonna will be supporting them more, I think. But yeah.
Death Run
Yeah.
TV and Friday nights at Freddy's security breach confirmed for Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
So, Death Run TV looks very much like here. Oh, we have some of these clips going
Mm-hmm.
on.
It's
So, yeah,
enter the gungeon.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, yeah, we were saying that. Yeah, look how similar it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very similar.
But at the same time, I think you're more in that arena, and then like you try to entertain people, and I think you connect. So that was the talk about you connect your Twitch account to it. But like, how's that gonna work exactly? Because I know Stadia is about YouTube,
Oh,
so
so you're
probably it's
in a
gonna be
single arena. So you're not
yeah.
switching rooms. That's a little
Uh,
different.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of interesting and dependent of like your followers or something, it will like change. So, mm,
Right. So, I mean, there's an obvious now what I would see is the Twitch is integrated inside the UI of the game.
yeah.
So it's like sort of doesn't need Stadia. It's Stadia
Hmm.
is just kind of the platform it's on.
Yeah,
Or
exactly. That's what I think.
Stadia incorporates the YouTube feature.
Oh, yeah, probably. I think they can incorporate that, right? So,
So I think we'll either see one of the two.
mm-hmm. No,
But
definitely.
that's cool. It's in the same arena. I didn't know that. It kind of gives a little different play, and it seems like he's getting power ups and stuff here.
Mm-hmm.
It should be
Yeah.
cool. Do you think that one of these two games will be one of the pro games we get for May?
Oh, I thought they're both coming for a pro game.
No, I don't. I don't think either of them were pro. They don't have the pro thing on it.
No. For some reason I thought they were coming for pro. Did they
No, they
haven't
don't have.
announced a pro yet then, huh?
No, they only announced the Lamote, the Outriders, and then the Paw Patrol.
That's true. Outriders, yeah.
Yeah, the Rudig's curse continues. So Five Nights at Freddy's, a security breach. We got some sort of um, horror mixed with the child genre. Two genres that needed to be mixed.
Yeah, exactly.
These kids are like trapped overnight Chuck E. Cheese's type thing, and like they have to survive until the morning. I believe is the
Hmm.
story.
Yeah, so this game came out a while back and they've been redoing it a different way. So the graphics are a little bit better now. But I remember the first time it came out, I think the popularity of it was very low. It was like from this indie developer, but now it became so much more popular. And it was like it's more like giving you the jump, right? The scare jump,
Yeah,
but
the jump scares.
mm,
Yeah, they have this a version of this for VR, right?
oh, coming out. Yeah, yeah, it's coming out for
Oh,
VR
it's coming
or it
out.
is out. Yeah, one or the other.
Yeah, so four more games get free trials. Pac-Man, Mega Tunnel Battle, Blaze and the Monster Machines Axle City Racers, Dragon Quest, which is pretty neat. I like for me, I may actually try this out. What you get 120 minutes, 2 hours?
Yeah, 2 hours. It's a RPG, you gotta think. So like they're gonna get you to play it for 2 hours, you're gonna get in the story and you're gonna be damn now I need to finish it, so you're gonna buy it.
Maybe we'll see.
Mhm,
I mean, that's a good thing, right? If they hook
mhm.
me, so um,
Exactly.
and then Little Nightmares. I know this guy is on my Stadia Pro list. It
Mhm.
kind of reminds me. Oh, I can never remember the name. Not even gonna mention it now. It
Remember you
reminds me of a dark puzzle game. That's what I'm gonna
okay.
say. We have Little Nightmares and Little Nightmares 2. I know we have both
Hmm.
of them on
Yep,
Pro.
we have both.
Yeah. Cool, cool. Through the Darkest of Times has been rated for Stadia. So this looks to me like another point and click game, if I
Hmm.
was to take a guess. But it's received positive reviews on Steam. And everybody likes to solve a case. So cool things. I
Yeah.
hope it comes out soon. I know some things that are rated don't always come out at a consistent time schedule. So it's a little
Mhm.
bit tough to always relate when things get rated and when they get released.
Yeah.
This one has created a lot of buzz. And like I don't know about you, but for me, it's just like without the light gun, I'm not
hmm
sure that it's like the most exciting game in the
Yeah,
world.
exactly. Like I think the arcade version will be better with the gun. Unless they come out with something for that, I don't know. Or
Like,
maybe create your own at home with your controller or something.
like first of all, this game would be perfect for Oculus. Like the reason why it's on all of these other consoles, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They should have put this on the Oculus because I like all you're doing is moving the sticks around, right? You're not there's no motion control. It's just not how it's supposed to be played in my mind.
But it is on the work to come out on Oculus Quest also.
Oh,
Well,
is
like
it?
yeah, on VR. I saw some stuff about that.
Okay.
There's many game coming out to VR now.
I guess
Uh,
maybe in PlayStation and Xbox or maybe even Steam, you could get like a gun attachment.
hmm
But
Well, that's the thing with PlayStation. You got the PlayStation VR, and they have those ball thing. I don't know. Maybe you can
okay,
use
maybe you can
that.
use that. That a
But I
wand?
don't know. And then
Be
yeah,
gone, zombies.
exactly.
Be gone.
And then for Xbox, I don't know. I don't know if the Kinect is still a thing, but like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe you buy an accessory looks like a gun.
And then again, put it on Switch. Switch, you pick up the joystick, right? And you could have the
Exactly.
Joy Cons and you could be shooting. But no, they don't give it there. I don't know. I don't know. It's an on-screen shoot game. Um, I wish it the best of luck, and it's got a lot of positive steam behind it. So it's coming
Yeah.
out next week on Stadia. Possibly a pro game. By the way, they're talking about this.
Yeah, looking at
Couldn't you
it.
see that?
I don't know. It's made by Capcom, so probably.
They Capcom put on Resident Evil on Pro.
Yep. And I think like Stadia give them a lot of money for that,
Yeah,
so.
yeah, they did give them a lot of money. Interesting.
So
Uh, Out
Outrider.
Outriders. So very convenient that you're getting this with Pro with a new expansion
hmm
arriving on June 30th.
Do we have to pay for the expansion though?
Oh, you bet you. You betcha. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. I thought when I first read about this that it was the case, that it was that kind of DLC. Nothing on this article says if it's a Stadia confirmed release on June 30th.
Because I wonder if it's because it's coming to Pro, they're gonna give us the expansion. You know?
Could be because the last expansion was free, right? That 4 maps and the sort of after game thing.
The end game portion?
Yeah, that was like a free add on. So who knows? Could be. There was a lot of good things about this game. The end portion was obviously not my threat, but
hmm The overall gameplay was fun. The story,
yeah,
I think since they fixed a lot of issue, it got better. But it's not like a Destiny as far
no,
as Destiny, right? So there's still like more work need to be done into it.
yeah. But it'll be fun to play out some new DLC on the game. I remember the story was pretty interesting, chasing around the desert demon, but
hmm
a game that my childhood self is looking forward to. Hot Wheels Unleash, also rated, but on the ESRB. So cool.
hmm
I hope that you get to build the tracks and launch cars down them. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not much to say about Hot Wheels other than I used to play with them as a kid, and that's
Yeah, same
cool.
here. That's about it.
So now PlayStation is being added into the mix of the crossplay universe that Stadia was actually already a part of. So that's interesting to see that it's expanding. Um, So Borderlands 3 is getting full crossplay between all of them this spring. Check it out. So it already had crossplay, right?
Yeah, they just
June of last year had crossplay between Stadia, Xbox, and PC. Yeah.
yeah, it's just PlayStation is a little bit behind, I think. They were not a big fan of crossplay for the longest, and now they're realizing it's the way to go now. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow! A lot of news,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff to go through. Couple added points here. Unfortunately, we had Chronicles of Stadia close their virtual doors. They put out a tweet that unfortunately they'll not be able to continue, but they appreciated all of the love from the community. So take care, Chronicles. You were always a good source for us to look up and get a fresh take on Stadia. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever come back, you're more than welcome. Of course.
Exactly.
And then you wrote the Elden Ring petition. It's at 2,186 signatures.
Yeah.
I wonder how many signatures would be significant enough for them to consider it seriously.
Well, they want to get to 2,500, so I don't
But
know.
like, how much is 10,000 like enough for From Software to be all right? Maybe we should do this
But it's quite interesting to see if everybody from Stadia signed this.
because they must have the numbers from Shakiro, right? Shadows Died Twice, and be like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
possibly. I know, like Bliss is keep telling me like to buy it, to try it because it's very good. Like
Shakiro?
no, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, yeah.
And I'm waiting for it to come out on Stadia, right? So hopefully
Yeah.
it's gonna come out soon. Like maybe that petition's gonna help, and then be, oh well, there's about 2,000 people that want to buy it on Stadia. That'll probably
See,
be
that's
good.
that's my thing with Dying Light.
Hmm.
Dying Light, I would be down to play. I want to play it so bad. They released a poster before they released it with the Stadia logo on there. And then they retracted it. And
I
it's
know.
like, what is it coming to state? Like, what are you saying? And like, are we just gonna get a surprise? Oh, here's Dying Light 2. Like, I don't know, but like I want it so badly.
They're probably gonna come out in a year or so until like Stadia get their freaking
The Windows thing together.
yeah, the conversion thing, like to make it easier for like developer to transfer the game into Linux. Until they have that sorted, like I don't know what to say. Like we've seen a reduce of game coming out on Stadia in the last 2 months, I think. And I think they kind
Yeah.
of behind at their goal. So hopefully we're gonna get some good surprises this summer.
Yeah.
We'll see. Other than that, I guess we can show off our video
Our
of the week.
clips.
Yeah.
Our clips. Yeah. So I'm having to go a little bit through the backlog here because unfortunately my new controller doesn't have a capture button. Don't hate me.
Uh,
I have to hook up. It says something about permissions and I can do it in like the extra area. So I'm just having some issues there. But I'm gonna play you back an old clip. So it's gonna be just as fun. Do you want to go first though with yours?
yeah, sure. I'll share my screen. Share this. So mine, it's basically Darksider. When I was playing, there was this part where you had to jump, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is so hard." So
Oh, in
yeah,
this room. Yeah, okay.
yeah,
So this is
yeah.
like the home area.
I know, yeah, and then like I didn't know there was those jumping puzzle around, and I start playing with that. And as you go further, the posts are getting smaller and smaller, and I was like struggling so much to get to the
Oh my
smaller one,
god.
where you can see it there. I'm like jumping around, but yeah, and I
Oh,
had difficulty. Yeah, so I tried that a few times. I got another video to I can share, or if you want to share yours.
I'll go
Um,
for it.
this one was like basically on Destiny. We basically I was doing a raid with like some friends, and the Glimmer gun is basically the gun for that came out, the emote that came out this recently, and like then we were a bunch of people like glimmering everywhere. It was quite interesting. You can see it
Glimmer
everywhere.
off, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, that's
that's pretty
fun.
much it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's how do we do this? There we go. So this one I wanted to show off. Here is a little taste of platforming in Grime.
Mm.
All right. So first of all, my favorite weapon. Teleport
The
there.
blade or
Oh,
something? Oh, did you have to teleport? Are you teleporting
you
through
have
the
to
wall or?
like do a certain move to grab onto these balls,
Uh-huh.
right? See the yellow? You have to grab, but then you have to dash through there, dash up because you can't get affected by the top. Constantly grabbing on the top, then the bottom.
Oh,
And then I'm
damn.
like, "Oh my god, take a deep breath after completing that." Like it's the levels alone that are so very very challenging.
That's
Oh my
awesome.
gosh. But very very cool game. Oh, I took this picture one time. This noteworthy. Crossplay becomes live, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna take a picture.
Oh yeah, that's back when Destiny 2 came
Yeah,
crossplay. Nice. Awesome.
yeah, yeah. So I thought that was a little clip there.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. I want to thank the Stadia source for obviously hitting us with a whole bunch of news. If you don't have any other news, I think we're good to enter our closing notes here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So thank you for tuning in to Chat Stadia. Guys, talk about the cloud this week. We're back next week at the same time, hopefully. Actually, no, we won't be back at the same time next week. I'll be on vacation.
I'll be
And
away.
Nads will be away, so we'll be hitting you back on our podcast when we're both back and available. So stay tuned to social media. I'm sure we'll be tweeting about it. But yeah, as always, we love giving you guys the newest Destiny news, Stadia perspective, and all that. So if you miss the Canadian Stadians and want to add us and want to hear more, I'm Rue Diggs, and this is my co-host Nads614, and we're both on Stadia. Our name and titles are there. Always happy to play some games in the cloud. For some extra support and love to the channel, be sure to subscribe on our YouTube Stadia Party Chat podcast or follow us on social media at Chat Stadia. We are posting game streams and always talking about the latest Stadia titles and just having a big old pile of fun in the world of social media at the same time.
Yeah.
Of course, this show would not be possible without my awesome co host leveling up this podcast as always, Sebastian. Thank you for joining me and helping make this podcast what it is.
Yes. And we'll see you guys next time.
And my cloud
Yeah.
quote, remember, there's no rules for the architectures of castles in the cloud. Let that resonate. Let that resonate. All right, guys. We're Stadia Party Chat Podcast. Have a good night.
Take care.